episode of the Bat Millennial Podcast. And happy Pride, everybody. It's June. Summer is heating up really in California. Like Bay Area is like under a whole heat wave watch this week. So pray for me. I'll be inside in the shade. But this episode, I really actually want to get back into my bad reality episodes. So, kind of, I don't know if you guys are aware, but I am a huge TV fan, mostly reality TV and true crime docs. So, I really want to share like my thoughts on the reality Bravo situation of it all, specifically, since so much has been happening over these past couple of months. If you are an early listener of the show, you may have heard my Scandival Vanderpump Rules takes. So this one is going to be a little bit more supersized because it's not just Vanderpump Rules that has me going crazy. It's all of Bravo. Okay. And New York Magazine, the cut section just released a whole like spread featuring Andy Cohen, the host of Bravo and so many of the Housewives shows and Summer House and the Below Deck stuff. Actually, that's a good point to share. I don't watch Below Deck. I've just seen clips of some things, and well, the only thing interesting about Below Deck for me is probably Kate Chastain, because she's a breakout and can do no wrong so far, knock on wood. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to get started talking about what is going on with Bravo. I'm so confused. So let's start off with my favorite, well, my newbie favorite, because I kind of was only aware of them in season 2. But I went back and watched season 1, and Summer House Martha's Vineyard, beautiful, like Black people having fun on the summer, just cutting up, keeping it real, and also like educating the audience on the history of Martha's Vineyard. Like, now I'm not one to like spend a bunch of money traveling, so I've never been to Martha's Vineyard, but I always thought it was, of the elite people. I heard Barack Obama would like vacation over there. So I didn't really realize that the history of it was one of the only places Black people could vacation back in the day. And so there's a lot of rich history in that town, and seeing this group of friends who actually seem to all be connected to each other in one way or another that's actually authentic was really nice. I mean, there's a little bit of drama, but it's kind of just like there's nothing we can't work through, and they are all there to support each other. And they're all like brand new, fresh faces to the Bravo universe, which is nice because, as we know, if you are a reality TV fan, the longer someone is on TV, the more and more their head gets filled up with like whatever fans they have, or like the news commenting, oh, you should have done this, or oh my gosh, you're queen of everything. They kind of lose their selves and like what made them so entertaining in the first place, which was we had no idea who you are, and you just brought your authentic self, and that was it. Nowadays, you have people having scripts written ahead of time, rehearsals, secret meetings, looking at you, New Jersey. I mean, all of that. So seeing Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, come in with like a fresh perspective and an all Black cast, beautiful, chef's kiss. So that's why my bone to pick with Bravo is that they are pausing it. We finally got a reunion out of them. They didn't have a reunion for the first season, which is so weird because there was so much that they needed to resolve. And Bravo's all about reunions are for like unifying people and resolving conflict, da da da. This reunion, I mean, I feel like even more conflict and new things were brought up. I mean, we've got Amir and his girlfriend, would be nice, girlfriend Natalie, who she is a guest of Martha's Vineyard. So what the whole setup is really, this is a group of friends, right? Enjoying the summer at the summer house in Martha's Vineyard, and they're all either single or trying to date. And this Amir guy, he was single in the first season, and he seems so nice and like just kind of like that golden retriever. boyfriend vibes, and he kind of pursued certain girls in the house to no avail. But he was a cool guy to be around. Go to season 2, now he has this girlfriend, Natalie, who is very stuck up and standoffish, which Amir himself even admits during the reunion she is. And her way of handling things and appearing, she just has a lot of microaggressions and just like little things you would notice as a person of color or a minority, and you're just like, don't like that. And the biggest thing that pisses me off is that when guests or friends of a show come in and think that they're all of a sudden the star, or they need to be in the mess, or they need to carry the narrative or be a bone collector, Risha from Real Housewives of Atlanta. No, that's not your job. Your job is not to be all up in the camera and making the mess. You're the girlfriend, be supportive of your boyfriend. Instead, the first 5 seconds we're introduced to her, she's like putting down her man saying, oh, I make what he makes in a month, I make in like 2 seconds, or, I sell millionaire houses while he sells local houses. Like, Amir is one of those kids who just like probably was always either picked on or just trying to like fit in because he is, of mixed race. He's dad's black, mom's like Indian or something, Persian. Correct me because I'm wrong, because I don't know what it is. But basically, he was never raised around black people. So even he doesn't like realize the microaggressive comments that she has, like, oh, I can't act like that. Or even petting someone else's girlfriend's hair and trying to like lower her defenses when really she's about to like just drop a bomb on her. It just doesn't rub right with me. And it didn't rub right with like most of the cast. So they brought that during the reunion, which was huge. And of course, Amir goes, well, we bought a house together. And also, I have a ring in my pocket. But also, she wants to cut my dick off. But also, I was kidding about that. But also, I just want to be loved. Feel bad for him. And I don't want to say that's part of why Bravo paused this, because honestly, that's drama. That's reality too. Like, not everyone sees, red flags right in front of their face. That's kind of fun for us as the audience to just be like, oh, we're going to be armchair psychologists and sociologists just being like, oh, wow, that's intense. But yeah, and then, I mean, we have another whole relationship that was portrayed over 2 seasons. Now they've broken up. And it's like, okay, are we going to get to season 3 to see what goes on with them? I don't know. And of course, there's all this other stuff going on. I'm just wondering, like, there's so much left unsaid, and there's still so many like new avenues and narratives that they could have gone for season 3. So I'm not sure why it's being paused. I also feel like there's still a thread of hope because pause doesn't mean canceled, right? So a lot of these friends apparently live in New York or in DC, and then some otherwhere, and then some anywhere else. And I feel like there are some people in the cast that could be like, oh, and they could just center it around like these friends in New York or these friends in DC, and actually follow their real lives after Summer House, and just kind of like let it grow from there. But this was a really good show, guys. Like, even the recaps I'm hearing all across like other reality TV show podcasts are just like so thrilling and intriguing. I mean, I was hoping for an after show on Peacock. Like, I want the best for them. And Preston, that's my standout guy. Okay, like even Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac, she is a huge fan of him and a real life friend, and they did a whole Instagram live together. Like, Preston is everything. He's happy pride to you, Preston. Like, he is everything. And he brought so much to the table. And in real life, he's always talking about diversity, equity. And he brought his fiance to the cast. And, we probably haven't seen a gay black couple like kiss on TV before. Like, And he's always like just educating the masses because he really loves Black people and he really believes in the progression and furthering, Black people. And so this is a great platform for him to do that. I'm excited for his book that's coming out. I'm excited for any podcast that he guests on. I would love to have him on my podcast. But yeah, Preston is so fun on the show. He is kind of like the Switzerland until it's like, okay, I can't like ignore this. And I'm gonna like speak my truth and say what's what. And like, you're my friend, but if you're wrong, I'm telling you you're wrong. Like that kind of guy with that kind of like attitude and like, I'm not afraid to speak up. Like, that's what you need. You don't need someone who's a pot stirrer all the time. And you also need someone who like doesn't want to be in the drama. It's just super like sterile and like, oh, I don't want to like ruin my reputation. No, Preston, he speaks what he means. He says with his chest, and he has a future on reality television. Wherever he ends up next, I will be watching. The rest, I mean, the rest were more fun in season 1 than season 2, I will say. Like the girls have a lot going on. Um but maybe not enough to make it interesting. But I still don't think that like it's uninteresting. It's just the narratives are just kind of ebbs and flows, you know. You gotta keep it interesting, guys. And I don't know. I don't know what they need to do. Well, I mean, I gave my suggestion of the whole following people in New York, so we'll see. But I really hope they unpause it. Like, give it a year. Maybe let's have some things settle. Let them get used to being famous, um, and make new friends and maybe bring in more queer people, like something. But yeah, Bravo. The thing about Bravo is I don't love that there's been so many minority like led casts where they've just been canceled. I mean, Shaws of Sunset was one that people like really liked and are like, what the hell? Like, why did you let this go? I mean, granted, there are a lot of shows that I haven't watched because they gave them maybe one season and they were done. But it's like when you see all of these white housewives who have been on air for 10 years or so, and their storylines are just dead, buried, boring, or like literally the same thing that they came in on season 1 with, and they're giving them the green light and renewing them every season, that doesn't make sense. Like, we should be way more diverse now, Bravo. Like, I'm talking to you guys. Like, I am a fan of reality television. I'm a fan of how you guys use your platform and give the most unlikely of people a spot on TV. Like, y'all need to keep looking and diversifying and not just having, Black people or people of color and people of the LGBTQ community show up as friends of or as the joke or as the like, let's keep it light factor and just like have some fun. Like, no, like we need more people of color leading this. And I mean, I know Real Housewives of Potomac has been a bit lately, but that's okay. You gotta keep it going. Gotta keep it going. Speaking of Potomac, I'm going to miss Candace. Oh my god, I'm probably not. I mean, I say this now, knowing that I don't mean it, but I really don't want to watch next season without Candace. Like, I appreciate that she left on her own accord, that she is really looking out for herself, protecting her mental health, her physical health. I mean, the amount of times this girl has been attacked, that doesn't sit right with my spirit. And also that she got like a little baby. Like, she has a baby coming. Protect her joy. I'm so happy for her, but I'm so mad, so fucking mad at how the cast has treated her since day one. Like, she is truly like a real housewives icon. And being able to see her, well, really, she was a huge fan. She always wanted to be on reality television, especially Real Housewives. And seeing her from, kind of just being this pageant queen who her mom supported her and, she lives in her mama's house. But seeing her go from that to maturing into a woman who now has her own singing career, her husband is by her side and forever backing her up and on her team, which you can't say a lot about these other partners in the Bravo universe. And she is just, I mean, she is kind of Twitter crazy, which I love, but also got her in trouble a lot. And she's also like the reading assassin. Like she can, not just in her interviews, to your face, she will read you down for Phil. I love that. She is TV. So the good news about Candace leaving is that she tends to say, see you later. Still not a goodbye. So maybe like when the kid's a little bit older, hopefully like maybe just a year or two, she'll come back, because Potomac itself, my God, TV doesn't work when people don't speak to people. Like the whole queen bee of it all, Giselle, just, oh, I don't like this person, I don't like this person, even though you've done them wrong. She now doesn't want to talk to people, so people are getting on her side and not talking to them as well. So it doesn't make for interesting TV for us. You know, like you can't just ice somebody out who has a contract, a full-time contract, by the way, and are part of this cast. Like, it doesn't work. And you're also not the director, you're not the producer. So stop it. Stop it. Otherwise, we're not watching. As you can see, the numbers have gone down. But yeah, Potomac, I am always rooting for everybody Black, but Potomac needs to get it together, because I can see a pause or a recasting happening even more so than just firing people and bringing in 1-2 new people. Like I can see what they did for New York happening to Potomac if they don't watch out. So fingers crossed. Dubai is my other favorite little freshman sophomore. I think this is their second season. The trailer came out just before I was recording this, so the first episode should be out now, and it looks hot. I mean, Dubai is hot itself, but the ladies bring it. Okay, I am very interested to see how they've been handling themselves since we saw them last. We have a new girl who seems hilarious, real, and also like Iman, Caroline, and who's it, Iman? Let me not get the girl's name wrong, because I freaking love them. She reminds me of Iman because she's a model and just like mysterious and royal and all that, but silly. So Caroline Stanberry, who was in the Real Housewives of London way back when, is now friends with Chanel Ayan, who they were like enemies last season. And so I really love this whole enemies to friendship like arc. Like it reminds me of some really good books. Although it's usually girl guy, they fall in love. But it'll be interesting to see how, you know, they make this relationship work, because they really hate each other's guts. I mean, it was oil and water, vinegar, whichever. And yeah, just, but I'm excited, because the thing about TV, again, you can't just not talk to somebody. Although these girls weren't not talking. They're both like omegas, alphas, like they're gonna go at it with each other. But it is nice to see the women getting along. So I'm excited. I'm gonna like go watch Dubai after recording this, because it's only 2 seasons and they're already better than some some housewife shows that have been out for a decade now or more. So that leads into me talking about New Jersey. Let me take a sip, because I got a lot, but I'm also like kind of sad about it. So Real Housewives of New Jersey, right? Y'all all know Teresa, Queen of Flipping Tables, and her sister-in-law, Melissa, whose brother is Joey, who is Teresa's little brother. And they just never get along. Nobody ever gets along. Teresa doesn't get along with her brother. You know, Melissa doesn't get along with Teresa. Teresa hates her sister-in-law. It's a whole thing that's been happening since like before season 1, because apparently Teresa was the queen bee and was like really annoyed that she didn't know that her brother and sister in law actually were getting casted for the show. She was like, I don't want my family in this. Like, I just want to be in it. Now, I don't know if they had this drama before the show, but Teresa just never liked Melissa. And maybe it was a thing of, you took away my brother, I don't have as much access to my brother type of thing. Or she just really doesn't want to share the spotlight. And someone who is in her family, she can't escape that. So basically, it's been a war since season one. And it was kind of like doable because there were so many other families, and you had the Caroline and the Manzos going on, and like a lot of other families, and like bigger villains to fight with than with each other. Now it's really just Teresa versus Melissa. Like, last season ended kind of with Teresa thinking that she could get Melissa fired, which again, producers, when you let like a castmate think they have that much power, it's a bad deal. And they already like allowed that because Teresa went to prison for her husband's crimes, mortgage fraud, white collar, that kind of shit. But she went to prison and they paused production. They paused filming to wait for her to come out. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad idea because Teresa is TV. Like, she is unpredictable. Okay. So that's what makes her so great because you can't script it. Like, you just can't. So I understand them waiting for her to come out. But now she thinks she has so much control that it's one of those things again where it's like, you take my side or I'm against you. And this person doesn't want to talk to this person. And this person is mad that this person is talking to this person. It's like a lot of like games and like childish kid shit. And it's not fun anymore. And they're also like following the plot of Potomac now. Like, it's not good TV when nobody is talking to each other. The other problem with New Jersey is that the husbands are so, well, one, we see way too much of them. Like, it's almost like the Real House husbands of New Jersey at some times. Like, whole episodes are about the men, which doesn't make sense. And also, the Jersey men are just so emotionally and like some intellectually underdeveloped. Like, why do we need to see them? I don't learn anything from them. I didn't like pay this Peacock subscription to show up to see the men be stupid and just misogynistic and sexist. I really did not sign up to see them at all. And that also shows that when you're just like really focusing on the men, that shows how little is going on between the women. And so I was not surprised when the news came out recently that they're not going to have a reunion show. The reunion was canceled, which is probably like the first time ever. But there was like literally, well, one, so far there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing interesting going on in the season at all. And two, again, back to the point of nobody's talking to each other. Nobody wants to be in the same room with each other. Teresa and Melissa are literally mutes when it comes to each other. They had like one episode for the Dolores's baseball game, and they showed up in the same locker room, and Melissa was just telling her son, like, go say hi to your tia or your auntie. And that was it. So again, you guys, this isn't high school or middle school. We can't just ice people out. You all have contracts and you're all getting paid to entertain us. So figure it out. But this seems to be the trend of the summer with Bravo because down to Vanderpump Rules, Ariana doesn't want to talk to Tom Sandoval because of Scandal, which I get. And I'm Team Ariana all the way. Totally respect her boundaries. Totally love how strong she's been. Even showing up to the reunion last year when it all happened, her boyfriend of like, 9 years, had an affair of 7 months with her best friend, and a whole mess. But it was juicy ass television. Like, I get it now this season. She doesn't want to have a conversation with him. She doesn't want to be in the same room with him. Like, fine. But the whole season was just about, well, first of all, they didn't even like give him a little pause or breather. Like, they picked up cameras like maybe like 3 months after this happened. So it's still real life. Ariana is still reeling from this whole betrayal and being, I mean, not just blindsided, but like manipulated and emotionally, like, and mentally just like fucked over by this crazy narcissist psychotic of a man. And you expect her to just, what, forgive him? So the whole cast is on this whole rally of like, we're gonna redeem Sandoval. You know, he's only human. He didn't kill anybody. You know, like you should be able to do your job and film with him. Mostly because we're afraid that we're gonna get canceled. Because basically before Sandoval, and I was watching like all the way back from season 1 to now, they there were a lot of seasons where they should have just gotten canceled. Like the whole allure of Vanderpump Rules was just like a bunch of like 20, 30 nothing year olds like trying to make it in LA and just making stupid decisions. Everyone's cheating on each other and, you know, they're being servers and waitresses in these bars. They don't really know what's going on. Now that they're famous, fourth wall is pretty much broken. We're all, know how they've grown up and, gotten their businesses, gotten married, gotten divorced. The cheating is still a thread. We still have reveals years later about cheating and kissing people who are not your partner. And it's just like, it's quite honestly overdone. And they're all like 40 or approaching 40. And not to be ageist, but like, it's boring watching them try to like chase the same dream. And they're also like not poor and struggling anymore. They all have like huge reality TV heads that have just swollen up over these 10 years. I mean, the only two I'll say that kind of are still relatable-ish and just being themselves would be Katie. Katie has been herself since day one, whether you like her or hate her. And honestly, I feel like she was like the star of last year before the whole Scandal thing blew up. And then Ariana, who she's always been kind of like a background player, and she's not one to like try to start fights or, be in the camera just to like be the star. Like the fact that all this good stuff has happened to her. She got Dance with a Star. She's performing on Broadway in Chicago. She, is making so many millions in brand deals. Like, good for her. But also, she would have rather not have been cheated on in such a tra- traumatic, dramatic way. And I honestly, it is scary to be like, you were so close with this person for years and now you have no idea who they are. That's terrifying. It's good TV, but it's also terrifying. So she could have honestly just left, just like the other one did, Rachel, the actual mistress. She could have left this season, and they wouldn't have had to do anything they wouldn't have anything to talk about besides, is Tom a good human or should we, ice him out? Like, there's nothing else going on. So VPR, dead it. Like, the reunion, I mean, it was, especially part 3, was just all la, just trying to secure checks and future sponsorship opportunities. And her like pre-planned catchphrases in Black Scent are just so old and offensive. And I'm done. Like she's also talking about things that happened 3-5 years ago, basically because she's jealous that she didn't get the opportunities that Ariana has. Like, you introduced yourself as a girl who gave BJs for PJs, so most of us can't relate to you and most of us don't like you. So we're not going to give you the same attention and love as we did Ariana. It's just not. Curse of reality TV. The stupid shit you say in your 20s haunts you until you're almost 40. So again, this season sucked. They needed to have paused before picking it up after Scandal because honestly, things hadn't died down yet and they didn't really have any other storyline to go forward with. So yes, icing people out and not talking to them sucks, but also forcing people to talk about things they don't want to talk about or forcing people to film together is just uncomfortable for the audience as well. Because what, you're either going to get yelling or crying or both, which is what we got. And Ariana just spent this whole season trying to get over this huge betrayal, thinking all of her friends had her back, only to realize in the reunion that is the most chaotic and crazy cast, and she was insulted and betrayed all over again. Like, I hate this. None of her friends were actually her friends. And she said she didn't watch the season because, of course, why should she? She shouldn't have to relive like the worst years of her life all over again. But now I think she kind of should, or at least read a review or catch the clips, because those people who you say are family, uh, you need to get some new family members. Sorry, Ariana. But now Vanderpump Rules is on pause. Producers say it's more so the end of an era and not the end of the show. Again, we need to dead it. Like, why are we still greenlighting these dead, primarily white shows back to back over our fun, multicultural, Black, minority led ones? I'm just not loving this trend. VPR needs to end. Also, Lisa Vanderpump herself doesn't need to be there. Like, it's weird that she's trying to just be another host, another Andy on the reunions. Like, she has nothing to add. And she's not even part of filming anymore. She's not their boss. They don't work for her. Why is Lisa still there? To collect a check, yes, I know. But you're still collecting a check being a creator and producer, and they're using your name in the show. So if it comes back, like, I don't need Lisa Vanderpump there. But also, if it comes back, I think it should be recasted with a whole new slew of like young people who are just trying to make it, because yeah, this original VPR cast is boring and done. Which also shows why The Valley, my next show I have to talk about, is so good. The Valley, I don't think anyone saw it coming. If anything, there was so much hate for it because we had the two characters that we also had from Vanderpump Rules come back, which is Jax Taylor and Kristen Doty, who were like the worst of the worst reality TVs. Like, freaking Jax is on a show called House of Villains on Peacock. Also another show you guys should watch if you are bored as hell, because it's interesting. And New York is on it. And other villains. Omarosa is on it. It's like a game show thing, and they're all like competing and living in the same house. Kind of like a Big Brother type deal. Anyway, House of Villains. Random funny show if you have nothing else to do or you're trying to get through your chores. Definitely watch it. But back to the Valley. Really great for their freshman season. Like, I was actually looking forward to it more than Vanderpump episodes. Like, it's wild. So it's basically like the opposite, or like what would happen after Vanderpump Rules life. Like, now you've grown up, you're not working in bars anymore, you're married, you have babies, you're running businesses, and you're just trying to like cope with all the stresses that come with that while maintaining your friendships, while trying to enjoy your marriage. And some of these people who are married should not be. And other people who are married, um, they're kind of portraying a realistic view of marriage, and they're not like, I like them because they're like not dramatic too much, but also I kind of feel bad because I'm like, you probably shouldn't be on reality TV because you guys are the nicest people, the nicest couples, and like you shouldn't like stay here, because reality TV, this kind on Bravo, can be messy as hell and break up even the strongest of relationships. Just look at Beverly Hills. So yeah, I love the Valley. I hate Jax Taylor, forever will. I think his wife Brittany, she finally wised up because now they're separated and stuff, and we've seen like how horribly he's treated her and talked down to her in these first couple episodes. And even at the end, it's like, yeah, y'all should just get a divorce, which is surprising because, we saw their relationship bloom on Vanderpump Rules. I mean, she's, came down from Kentucky all the way to date him and get her new boobs. Like, it was true love for reality TV. So the fact that they're still married and have a kid, nobody saw that coming for him. Mr. Cheer Cheer Pumpkin Eater of the century. So yeah, interesting little drama there. Kristen Doty, who was fired from Vanderpump Rules for a racist incident with another. I guess she wasn't really cast member. She like showed maybe like one episode in Vanderpump Rules, but basically her and Stassi, another VPR cast member, were fired after calling the police on this girl, saying that she was a suspect in some ongoing case when she wasn't. And really, the only thing they had was that she's black. And I just think they don't like her. Like this girl, she's also saying like there were a lot of like slurs and mistreatment um, from other people on the show. So it was just like a terrible experience for her. And yeah, it just sucks and leaves bad taste. And of course, this was years ago when they were younger. They've since apologized and moved on, but you know, that also doesn't mean change. And Kristen Doty has shown that she has not changed one bit. Since she's been off air, she is extremely messy, extremely delusional, and can't seem to keep her drama straight, but she knows how to point fingers and pot stir and drive everyone up a wall, which does make for interesting TV, but also pisses off her castmates and has gotten her like kicked off in a way. Like there's been 2 seasons without, not 2 seasons, sorry. There's been 2 episodes without Kristen Doty, and because the whole cast is just like over her, but also does like kind of affect the show because she was bringing the drama and you know, being kind of like the force multiplier, if you will, um, who really just like raised the temperature in the room and keeps everything going. And like, as watchers, you're just like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? You know, but I'll say, like, honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised by this cast. There's enough people to like, root for, hate, look side eyed at, be confused by that. I've been tuning in every Wednesday or Thursday whenever Peacock airs the shit. Like, it's a good, stupid show for those of us millennials, elder millennials, you know, who are just kind of like adulting in a different way than we did in our 20s. It's just like, oh, wow, this is how bad life could be. Or, oh, yeah, I never thought of, this way of like juggling marriage and a career at the same time. Like seeing that on TV can also be encouraging and educational, even though it has this fun, crazy reality spin to it. So if y'all haven't watched The Valley, yeah, give it a chance. They've been greenlit for season 2, of course. But I actually do agree with it because it's a good show. So yeah. Deep breath. Have you watched any of these reality TV shows on Bravo? Do y'all agree with me? Am I like totally missing the mark? Am I going off the rails? Or do you have like the same thoughts as me? Because I am plugged into the Twitter and Instagram and following all of the fan accounts. And I feel like I'm kind of like in the middle, like on the same page with a lot of people, maybe have different opinions than others, but yeah, all in all, like Bravo is crazy. Um, it's doing a lot that I don't agree with, and others that I'm like, okay, I can get behind this, but yeah. So those are my thoughts. That's like how many shows? Like, oh my gosh, I watch too much TV. But honestly, like the reality TV is like sociology, psychology. Like they're the best they're the best ways to just like kind of understand human nature. In like one of the craziest circumstances, obviously like most of the things that I'm watching I don't relate to. But it is kind of interesting to see like how people change or don't change as they get older. Like with the Real Housewives shows, like most of these women are in their 40s, 50s, sometimes 60s. And as that's something I have to look forward to, it's kind of interesting to see what kind of issues arise and, what responsibilities and relationships that they have to juggle, as well as like trying to make a business and support their families. Um, that can also be inspiring. So, and when it's an actual good cast where they're like friends and stick together, like Dubai, Atlanta, Miami, whew, okay, like it is such a great show because they all rally around each other when shit hits the fan. So that's my like kind of like spiel for why you should be watching The Real Housewives of anything. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts. Are there any shows that I should be watching on Bravo? Um, Most likely I will not be watching anything Below Deck or Southern Charm. I don't I don't think I can get behind it. I think I'll be so bored and also so not interested in those franchises, but let me know if there's any that you're watching. And let me know if like you want me to like review any other shows as well. Like again, I watch reality TV, so there's a lot of Netflix shows that I have stuck on my playlist that I would love to talk to y'all about. As well as like true crime or documentaries. Like let's see what bad reality is all about. And record some more. All right. Whew. That was a lot, but I hope it was entertaining and I hope you guys got some clarity or fun out of it because I know I did. I got a lot off my chest. So thank you. Thank you for listening to Bad Reality, a new segment for Bad Millennial that hopefully I will continue to do because I love TV and I love reality. So this stuff's fun. So visit my website at badmillennialpod.com. You can also subscribe to a lot of things, but follow me on Instagram, Twitter. If you're watching this on YouTube, definitely please subscribe, give it a thumbs up. You can also visit, again, my Etsy shop at badmillennialshop.etsy.com. That's badmillennialshop.etsy.com. You can use code BAD10 for 10% off, and you can get this shirt right here that I've been wearing. You can also get mugs, stickers, hats. Yeah, and if you want a code, again, that's BAD, all capital letters, BAD10 for 10% off. And I'm also, writing a little substack full of more relatable millennial content. So go ahead, subscribe for free at badmillennialpodcast.substack.com. So thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon.